Hello students, this is CA Sudhani, a practicing chartered accountant from Jaipur, and I'll be the mentor for you for this chapter, consignment, which forms part of your paper number 1, Principles and Practice of Accounting. Now let us first of all understand what is the importance of this chapter. So as far as the importance of this chapter is concerned, we'll understand its importance from two angles. From the first angle, I would say that this chapter is very important, particularly from the point of view of retail business. Why I'm saying only the retail businesses? Because retail businesses, they are generally hesitant whenever they introduce a new product in the market. They are hesitant as to whether their product will perform good in the market or not, whether the demand for their product will be as per their expectation or not. So generally what they will like is to experiment, and this consignment procedure is very much appropriate for experimentation. Why? Because the retail businesses or any other businesses can get the goods on consignment basis without actually buying them, and they can offer in the market, and if they think that this product is performing well in the market, then they can get entered into this market by purchasing actually the goods, right? Secondly, we would say that from second point of view, this consignment procedure is also very important from a normal businessman, because a normal businessman would always like to expand his business, and as a part of his expansion procedure, he would like to enter into consignment arrangements. Now, what is this consignment arrangement? How is it very much important, and how is it very much useful for retailers as well as other businessmen? That we'll understand later on in this chapter. So let us begin this chapter with the help of learning objectives. First of all, let us understand what all we'll study in this chapter. So I am presenting all the topics one by one in front of you, but obviously we are not going to enter into detail right now. We'll understand each and every topic one by one. So let us begin. The first topic will be, what is the meaning of consignment? Second topic, after understanding the meaning of consignment, thereafter we'll enter into the topic of accounting entries. How to account for the consignment transactions in the books of consignor. Now, what is the meaning of consignor? That I'm not going to tell you right now. Just wait. Thirdly, the next topic will be how to value the consignment inventories. That means the stock valuation. Next, goods invoiced above cost. Now, I am just passing through these topics. I am not going to tell you what is the meaning of these topics, because all the meanings we'll understand later on. The next topic will be normal loss and abnormal loss, how they are treated. Next, what are the various types of consignment commissions? After that, accounting in the books of consignee. So one person was the consignor. The earlier accounting was in respect of consignor, and now the accounting is in respect of consignee. And the last topic that we'll understand in this chapter will be advance by consignee versus security against consignment. So friends, let us begin one by one with the very basic topic of what is the meaning of consignment. So what I've done is I have shown you a situation, and with the help of that situation, that practical kind of diagrammatic situation, we'll understand the meaning. Suppose this is the person named X, and on the other side is the person named Y. X wants to enter into a consignment agreement with Y. Now actually, let us suppose that X is a manufacturer. X is a manufacturer, and he produces the goods, he manufactures the goods, but he himself does not want to focus on the sales. So what he wants is to have some other person to concentrate on the sales. So he contacts Y. And what kind of agreement they enter into? X says Y that CY, I'm going to give you certain goods on regular basis. I'm going to supply you the goods that I manufacture on regular basis. So what he does is he supplies the goods, and along with the goods he also hands over to Y a pro forma invoice. So what this document is, it is called a pro forma invoice. So he sends two things to Y. One is the goods and second is the pro forma invoice. Now what is the meaning of pro forma invoice? This is a kind of invoice that is a bill, but not an official bill. It is not an official bill, right? This is just a kind of document whose purpose is to inform Y about what kind of goods are being sent. So this pro forma invoice contains details about the items which are sent, the rate at which they are sent, and other details, so that Y can understand what kind of goods are being sent. It is as simple as that, right? Now once Y receives the pro forma invoice, he comes to know what all consignments, that means what kind of goods have he received, and alongside he also receives the goods. So now the goods are with Y, right? Now the goods are with Y. Okay. Now what Y has to do with the goods? Has he to keep the goods with himself? No. He has to sell them to the buyers. He has to sell them to the customers. Let us say these are the customers, right? Now Y is called the consignee in this situation. Y is what? The consignee. Why is he called the consignee? Because the consignment has been done with him, right? Consignment agreement has been done with Y. So Y is the consignee. Y has to sell the goods to the customers. So what Y does is he sells the goods. Now see friends, as he will sell the goods to the customers, he will get payment in return, right? Let us suppose he gets good amount of money collection from the customers. Now, should he keep these collections with himself? Obviously not. He has to return all these collections. He has to hand over these collections to X. That is the consignor. So X in our case is the consignor, right? So consignee has to return the amount of money collected to the consignor. But along with the money, he will also send a document which is to be called, what is the name of this document? Account sales. What is the name of this document? Account sales. So he hands over two things. One is money and another is account sales. Now, what is the meaning of this account sales? Can you tell me? See friends, account sales is actually a detailed document which shows what it shows. Let us see. It shows how much actual sales have been made. Let us suppose that actually the consignee has received rupees, suppose 100. I am taking the dummy figures, right? Obviously 100 is a very less amount, very low amount, but I am just taking it as a dummy figure for our understanding. So let us understand that Y has received rupees 100 because he has sold goods worth rupees 100, right? So the account sales shows that out of rupees 100, First of all, Y will meet out all the expenses that he has incurred. Let us suppose that this consignee, that is Y, has incurred many expenses related to consignment. Let us suppose the expenses related to consignments have been 15 rupees, right? So what he'll do is 15 rupees will be deducted from this 100 rupees collection, because he will not bear this 15 rupees expense from his own pocket. He'll charge it from the consignor. Secondly, what Y says is, Y says to X that, see dear X, when I was making sales of rupees 100, 5 rupees got bad. Let me write it here. 5 rupees got bad. That means 5 rupees were bad debts. I hope you know the meaning of bad debts. That means Y says that this rupees 5 is not recoverable. Customer is not going to give me rupees 5. Okay. So this is my loss. And what I am going to do is that this loss I am going to charge from you, because you are responsible. X is responsible for bearing this loss, right? So Y will deduct this bad debts amount of rupees 5. Okay. Next, now Y says to X that, see dear X, I am going to do so many work for you. I am your consignee. So will you not give me commission? Obviously X is going to give commission to Y. So X, that means the consignor, will give some commission to Y. Commission for what? Commission for the services that Y is rendering. So let us suppose the commission amount is rupees 20. Okay. So Y will deduct rupees 20 also. Okay. Why? Because he will keep his commission out of this 100 rupees. He'll keep his commission of rupees 20. Okay. Lastly, Y says that, remember Mr. X, I had given you an advance before our consignment contract began. So actually what happens, students, let me tell you that normally the consignor, before sending the goods to Y, that is the consignee, he tells consignee that you will have to keep some amount with me as an advance. The purpose of this advance deposit is a security, right? You know that all these kind of securities are being practiced. Okay, so what X will do, he will say Y that you will have to give me some advance amount and you will keep that advance amount with me, and at the end, when the whole contract will come to an end, I will adjust this amount of rupees 5 advance, right? So let us say 5 rupees are given as advance by Y to X. So at the end, when Y will hand over rupees 100 to X, he will deduct this advance that he had already given to X. Finally, he will remit the balance amount. What is the balance amount? Let us calculate. Let us suppose the bad debts amount was rupees 10. Okay, I am revising this amount of rupees 10 bad debts. Now what is the final amount? The amount to be remitted will be rupees 50. Okay, so have you understood what is the purpose of this account sales? This account sales is showing us the detail of amount to be remitted, right? Now how much amount was remitted by Y to X? As we have seen, Y has remitted rupees 50 to X. And why he has remitted only rupees 50? Although he has collected rupees 100, but why he has remitted only rupees 50? The reason of all these things will be seen in account sales, right? So have you understood what is the purpose of account sales? It is showing the detail of the amount which is remitted by consignee to consignor. So this is the whole procedure which is involved in consignment. Let me repeat in short. Firstly, the consignor, in our example, consignor is X. Consignor remits goods, and along with goods, he gives a pro forma invoice to consignee. After receiving the goods, the consignee sells the goods to customers. After selling the goods, he gets some collection and he returns the collection back to the consignor. And together with the collection that he gives to X, that is the consignor, he also gives him the account sales, which is a statement of details of the amount. Is it okay? So this whole system is called consignment. This whole system is called consignment. Is it okay? Now, what is the relation between consignor and consignee in this case? What is the relation between them? We can say that consignor is a kind of principal. Consignor is acting like a principal, and consignee is acting like his agent. Okay? Why consignee is agent? Because he is selling the goods on behalf of consignor. Okay? So consignee, let me write it. Consignee sells the goods on behalf of consignor. Right? Okay, one more question from you. What have you understood about this? Tell me. Who will be the owner of these goods? Even if the goods are lying with consignee, still who will be considered as the owner of goods? Can you tell? Yes, consignor will be the owner. Consignor will be the owner of goods. Now tell me, friends, that suppose the goods which are lying with consignee could not be sold completely. Let us say only half of the goods could be sold. So remaining half are lying with consignee in the godown as a stock. So whose goods will they be considered? Who will be considered as the owner of that stock? Will consignee be its owner? No. Consignor is going to be its owner always. Is it okay? But yes, when finally the goods will be sold to customers, the ownership will be passed on directly to the customer. So friends, what do we conclude from here? Does at any stage consignee becomes the owner? This is my question. Does consignee becomes the owner at any stage? No, never. Consignee is never the owner. He is never the owner of goods because he is doing each and everything on behalf of consignor. Okay? Okay, friends. So I hope you have understood the meaning of consignment and each and every background of this. So I'll end this part here only, and the accounting part will be done in the next